Hi everybody, I hope that you behave yourself for the next couple of days. Here is your video, and it's basically going to go over how we find slope in two different ways, so that when you're working on your classwork pages, you will have a way of finding your slope. Now if we look here, this is the slope formula. So what I'm going to do is, we have 4 sets of lines here. So I'm going to focus on these 2 lines first, and I'm going to show you how you do the formula. And then on this side, I'm going to show you how we would count lines. When a grid is offered to you, it's easier just to count lines, but when you don't have a grid, you do need to know how to apply the formula. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at the slopes of these 2 lines. We have line segment AB, and we also have line segment JK. And sometimes you'll see like the symbol for slope will be a lowercase m. Don't know why that's the case, but that's the symbol. So what we do for our slope is we subtract our x values. So we do -4 minus -2, and I put this in parentheses just so you know that this is a negative and this is a minus, so you know differentiates from the minus and the negative. And then so that takes care of our x values, and now we're going to subtract our y values. Oh darn it, I have it backwards. That's why you do this in pencil. Your x values go in the bottom. X values in the bottom. And then your y values, notice I don't have the greatest eraser. Your y values go on the top. Okay? Doesn't matter the order that you put your x's. No, you could have done 8 minus 4 first and then -2 minus -4 second. It's totally up to you. But when I work this out, I get -4 over -2. When I reduce that, it gives me 2, but all slopes must be fractions. Remember that, and you might want to write that down. All slopes must be fractions. And if you're not sure where I'm getting this page from, it's page 19 in your packet. So that's the slope of AB, 2/1. So this slope technically goes up to 1/1, and we're going to discuss what that means. So this is a slope of 2/1. And then for JK, we're going to look at our y values first, so 0 minus 4. We're going to look at our x values second, -8 minus -6. Remember I told you I put the minus, and here's a negative, so I want to differentiate that that's a negative and that's a minus. So when you work that out, you all have calculators. Get -4 over -2 again. Always reduce fractions, so I'm going to write that again. Always reduce fractions to lowest form. So when we divide this, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2. But remember, all of our slopes have to be as fractions. So that means that JK has a slope of 2/1. So this has a slope of 2/1, this has a slope of 2/1. What kind of lines do they look like? And what does the fact that both of these slopes have the same mean about these 2 lines? That's what you're going to explore over the next few pages. Alright, here I'm going to show you how we would find the slope when we are counting. So instead of doing the formula like we did here, we're just going to count on this case. So basically anytime you have a grid, I recommend you count. But if you don't have a grid, you need to know how to use the formula, which is why I'm showing you how to do both. Now before we do anything, I need you to understand that if you go up, that is a positive direction. If you go down, that's a negative direction. If you go to the right, that's a positive direction. And if you go to the left, that's a negative direction. So if we're looking, and you always want to count left to right, everything's left to right. We read left to right. Everything we do is left to right. We subtract and add from left to right. So we want to look at these numbers from left to right. So I'm going from C to D. So I'm going to subtract 6 minus 10. Oh, wait, no subtraction. Instead, I'm going to count. Yeah, I did say I was going to count. So if you can see your grid lines, we're going to count our boxes till we get to D. So I count 1, 2, 3 down, 4 down. And then I count 1, 2, 3 to the right. So CD is down 4, 3 to the right. So we said that going down is a negative, and then going to the right is positive. So this is what's called rise over run. We take the distance that we go up or down first. That's our rise, or you could say fall. And then we take the distance that we would run and put that in the denominator. So the down 4 means that this is a slope of negative 4. And this is a positive 3. So this is a slope of negative 4 over 3. You can tell this is a negative slope from what we discussed yesterday. So because this is a negative slope, it's going in a downward fashion, this answer has to be negative. Now if we look at XY, looking from left to right, we're actually going to be starting looking from Y to X really. And I'm going to subtract first. Well, not subtract. I'm going to, I keep forgetting. I'm going to count up 3. And to the right 4. So XY goes up 3 and to the right 4. So these are both positive. So rise over run. So that is our slope. So we should be able to realize something that's going to happen with these two lines because of these slopes. If one is 3/4, one is 4/3 with a negative. What do we know about 3/4 and 4/3? What's the special word or the special name for when you have fractions that almost look alike? Like this. This is the stuff that you're going to explore on the next few pages. So your classwork for today will be page 20, page 21, and page 22. That's where you'll stop. Page 21 wants you to prove this statement. Parallel lines always have equal slopes. We don't know that, so we need to prove it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the slope of this line using the formula. And then I want you to find the slope of this line and see if it satisfies this definition. So remember, the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my y values here wind up being d minus 4. I'm going to put it in parentheses to differentiate from this minus and this subtraction. Minus b minus 4. All divided by c minus a. Alright, I'm going to distribute the subtraction into here and treat it like a negative. And I'm going to drop the parentheses. So I have d minus 4. This is straight up algebra. Negative times b is negative b becomes minus b. A negative and a negative become a positive, so it's plus 4. Now we're going to combine like terms. Like terms are these numbers here. So negative 4 and positive 4 are combined, and negative 4 plus 4, you can combine them because they're on the same line, is 0. So they kind of cancel out, and we're left with d minus b. So the slope of this line, this negative slope that's going in this direction, the slope is D minus B over C minus A. So now you need to find this slope and see if it's going to be equal to this. And then you're going to plug in some values here that could also give you D minus B over C minus A. So that's what you're going to do for page 21. Again, if you felt like I talked too fast, you always have the option to stop and rewind and replay. Alright, so 20, 21, and 22 is your assignment for today. Okay, look out for the mastery question that you need to answer after this, the warm-up and the mastery that you need to answer after this video. Okay?